see your point. I see your point, dude. However, collecting information to destroy someone who you disagree with just on the basis of he was mean to you is a fucking cowardice move. And not to mention that you're now adding the possibility of people going after him.
Well, how about, okay, first of all, I disagree that people going after him is my responsibility. This is like social justice thinking. It's like, oh, you criticized Anita, now people can go after her. This is ridiculous, okay? People should answer for their own behavior. If someone goes after him, they should answer to the law. Secondly, I honestly don't, I mean, okay, if you do it because someone was mean to you, maybe that person shouldn't have been mean to you. I'm not mean to people if I know that I did some really nasty shit in the past. Like if I know I stole money from someone, right, a huge amount, I'm not going to moral fact to others and start preaching and telling other people words of wisdom. Because I know I don't have my nose clean, so I shut the fuck up.
I'd just like to disavow V at this point, if that's okay.
Do you think differently about the issue? I mean, let's see a video that you did about someone and you check to see that, like Brianna Wu, for instance, right? You looked at Brianna Wu, you found her shady activities, or like most of the Gamergate thing, when you took journalists and you looked into their past and you found their shady activity, was that doxing?
No, I don't. I think it's important to be clear about what is and isn't doxing. Because I mean, like, like the thing with Coach Red Pill, like, I mean, he's been on Russia Today. You know, a lot of the stuff that like was going around was him on what is I guess a TV station. So, I mean, you know, he like his books and stuff that he sells on Amazon that's not doxing, is it? Come on.
So he's see, like here's the thing I'm missing out of this whole equation is that this guy has been a public figure for a while.
Yeah, I mean there are news articles written about him and stuff like this. He's on TV. Like, this isn't doxing. This isn't finding someone's like address and putting that out there, which incidentally is what Coach did to himself. So,
oof.
He was a male feminist as well. Like that's the funniest part.
I don't think that's true.
Dude, he was quoting Gawker on his Twitter like once a day.
Really? Okay, maybe it was.
Yeah.
I mean, look, it's one thing being a con artist. It's another thing being a male feminist. All right.
No, you need to know, okay, because you also got the false rape charge, and honestly, you know that sucks. But it's important because did he get it before or after he was a male feminist? That's what I want.
I don't know, and I don't care. I don't know. I haven't been following.
I need to put it in a folder, right?
Someone's got to update me here because I haven't been following what's been going on with Jeff and Wizard of Cause, who are people I like. So you're gonna have to. I saw Andy's rant there, and I was just like, right, okay, I'm out of the loop. And I've been deliberately out of the loop. I don't want to get involved in drama. But look at this. Oh, there's a video. Oh my god, now I have to do something. All right, fine, I'll do.
I was just doxed. Okay, my name is Andy Perez. Y'all happy? There it is. So you can stop putting it in the chat there.
But what did Jeff and Wizard of Cause do?
Well, Wizard of Cause is just simply defending him, which I understand you're his buddy, but you have to just admit it when you're wrong. Yeah. And basically, they set up the Kiwi Farms thing. They posted that, and Jeff was on my.
It looks like it's been set up by King of Pole.
I'm sorry.
It looks like it's been set up by King of Pole.
There's audio that was released this morning that would say differently.
Okay, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, it just came out this morning. That Zeph dude has been leaking everything really slowly right now. But so basically, Jeff has been on the last couple streams and was lying and pretty much spinning everything to make it sound like he found his docs through a searching a camera or something, and has been continuously lying. And then as these leaks keep being drip fed to everyone on Twitter from Zeph, it just shows lies. And at a certain point, it's like, where do I trust him now? At a certain point. And Wizard of Cause, even though, and by the way, it was all like it all started on Friday when I was just doing a Patreon stream, and a patron of mine is the one who brought this live in front of me. So obviously I have to answer it in front of all of my audience and stuff. And I've been trying to be as nice as possible and defending Jeff as best as I can. And then after today's leak, I'm just like, yo, this is fucked. So yeah, if you want, I can.
What was today's leak?
I'm sorry.
What was today's leak?
It's an audio between KRAUT and Jeff discussing the post on. I'll ask Tonka to actually play it. I was enraged this morning, but it's basically them talking about the post that they did or set up or something for Kiwi Farms. So Jeff knew absolutely everything about this, and they were setting up pretty much everything about Coach Red Pill, and I guess preparing to destroy him. And they had a separate server called the Task Force CRP, which was just on Coach Red Pill. And he was lying constantly the entire time. And look, why are you lying to my face? You look like a fucking idiot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have a question. I used to be part of Gamergate, and we would, go after specific journalists, specific targets like Brianna Wu, Anita Sarkeesian, and we would go on through their Twitter, through their history, trying to find out, the shit they did, uncover corruption and whatnot. Would you call that doxing?
I'm sorry. I was reading something. Like you were a part of Gamergate, and you would look.
Gamergate. People familiar with the movement, yeah.
Yes, of course, yeah.
Okay, right. So during Gamergate, there were a lot of people that were, going through Anita Sarkeesian's, Twitter, her activities, Brianna Wu, a lot of journalists. People had pictures of Brianna Wu's house and stuff like that, and they were putting it together to uncover their sketchy activities and their personality. Would you call that doxing?
No, but then can I ask you a question? Why was everyone tiptoeing and lying to me about absolutely everything instead of...
As I said before, right, people doing that, they're pieces of shit. Like, I wouldn't lie.
Admit it. Just fucking...
I'll admit it. Like, if someone asks me, I'll just be honest. It's like, yeah, I'm the, Googling info about Coach Red Pill to make a video about him soon. I would be just upfront if someone would ask me. I don't understand the need to lie.
Yeah, and then at this point, I'm starting to think, what other lies are there? If they're lying about this and everything's been deleted off that server, what else is there? And I know I can't trust anyone part of that situation, because it's like, how deep does this go? Yeah, sure.
No, honestly, I wanna know too, because I'm friends with Black Pigeon Speaks, and he actually asked me to verify if his docs was on the server. Right now, when I spoke with KRAUT, he said that, and this was after he called me a cocksucker. He did say that no, those folders were only the opinions of Black Pigeon Speaks, so he would debunk and whatnot. And judging the fact that I didn't see a single picture with, for instance, Black Pigeon Speaks docs, and I saw you actually live on a stream go through the server, now I don't know what to believe. Right?
Me either, man.
So I don't know. I told Black Pigeon Speaks that there was no docs, but I guess I'll have to call him again and say, dude, I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, it's this is why people shouldn't lie, I guess.
So I spoke to Braving Ruin today, and Braving, if you're listening to this, I'm not going to say anything like too detailed, but basically I think we both came to the conclusion that we're kind of being played by Coach Red Pill. I think he's been doing that, and it was something that I think we kind of buried the hatchet, because ultimately I was thinking about this. I don't agree ideologically with the alt-right, obviously, but I don't think that the people in the alt-right are necessarily bad people. So I don't think Millennial Woes is going to start doing bad things. I don't sort of underhanded things to try and just make people look bad and shit like that. I don't think Brave and Ruin's necessarily going to do it. I don't think, Jeff, you're going to do it. I don't necessarily agree, but I don't think that these people are bad people and are trying to hurt other people. But that's really not the impression I get from Coach Red Pill. I think he really is, and I'm actually about to publish a video with all the information. And the only reason I know this is because Brave and Ruin decided to share some of the DMs he'd had with him, where Coach Red Pill was basically conspiring with him to try and frame me. And I was like, right, okay. And the interesting thing is he leaked the chat logs on Skype that I'd had with him, and he's being really nice to me in these chat logs until I called him on him being a snake. And he just said, yeah, I'm a snake. And fuck you, basically. I was like, okay, well, that's
Yeah,
fine.
you called him a snake because
So-
he said that he doesn't care if innocents get hurt. Like,
No, I didn't call him a mistake because of that. I called him a mistake because in private he'll be really nice to me, and then if you go and look at his comment sections, I only found this the other day because I went and had a look. He's saying, "Oh yeah, well, don't worry, I'm going to get Sargon soon. Don't worry, stuff like this." And I'm like, "You're a fucking liar, then." You know what I mean?
So I want to say a few things here. Coach Red Pill, it's amazing to see how he acts with you guys because it's not how he acts with me. And this tells me something. I think Coach Red Pill understands that I am impossible to manipulate. I'm just too autistic to manipulate.
Maybe
That's exactly how I felt. It's like, do you think you're dealing with like a 20-year-old or something? You know, I've been around the block a few times.
Exactly.
You know?
Well,
And so it's amazing that he would think that he can manipulate you. That being said, to me it doesn't make CRP a bad person. He seems like a strategic thinker who may be wrong on his cause.
The thing is, right, I had like a Skype conversation with him probably about a week ago or something, and he sat there explaining to me like the ins and outs of power tactics, and I just said, okay, I'm actually really well educated on this. I actually know I know all of this. I just think it's immoral to use on an individual who doesn't, especially if they don't really know that they're, that you're kind of fighting them in this way. And he just seemed to not understand why I thought that was immoral. And I think he actually might be a bad person, you know.
Well,
And given his history as well of scamming out this economist and stuff, I'm just like, right, okay.
Well, also,
I mean, it depends on your belief of what the good person is and what the bad person
Okay,
is.
Yeah.
let me explain that. I don't think good people lie to someone to their face and then lie against somebody behind their back to try and
When
manipulate.
you say, JF,
I don't think they scam thousands of dollars out of people when the other person has no control over that money. And
No, and
I don't think they go out and try and stir shit up and try and frame people. So that's things I think good people don't do.
well, look, I have a past with him as well, where he made a video about me, and like with all these false claims, and he has been very opportunistic towards bashing someone with very like wary claims that there's no evidence of, just like assumptions, and then basically us having a debate with him, and I feel like he does pick a side. The bigger person, whoever's the bigger YouTuber, and sort of sides with them depending on the live.
I think it depends entirely whether he stands to benefit.
Like,
Yeah,
and a perfect example of that, right? Last stream, he gets annoyed. He challenges Jeff Holiday to an MMA match, right? He acts
No.
right. He leaves the stream. Jim comes on. Magically, he appears as well. Jim leaves. He leaves as well. It's like, if this is not just a manipulative, profiteering person, and as you said, JF, right? You say that he's not a bad guy. Well, I guess I'm sorry to say this, but this depends on your principles of what you define a person to be bad or good. And I'm pretty sure different people have different ideas. Like, maybe there are people who like manipulative people. Honestly, okay, I'm going to be honest. I like manipulative people, but ones that actually do it. Not people that try to do it and get caught, because we call those retards.
I don't like the people who actually do it, though. They're worse than the people who get caught. This is why I disavow V.
Well, 3 people with 3 different opinions of what good and bad is. And the reason I like the people who actually do it is because you at least have something you can learn from them, especially if they're women, by the way. I really like manipulative women. But this is just me. Many try.
And it's a good call. It's a very good call that Sargon just did about V, because V, you've been multiple times saying in your streams, I'm an asshole, I don't care. And so to a certain extent, if you judge yourself by the morals that you're trying to apply to Coach Red Pill, I'm not sure that you would pass as a good person.
Yeah, but I mean, what would you
I'm
suggest Coach Red Pill's moral standards actually are?
Just a second, because my morality is a question, right? I do say that I'm an asshole. However, when people came up and took down your video, JF, I did make a video about it. You know, and I did say I would not be able to sleep with myself if I wouldn't talk about this issue. I could have just ignored it. I could have CNN that shit, pretend it's not there. But since I hosted KRAUT's video, I only thought that it's fair that when your video was taken down, that I had to talk about it.
On all of this, I will say simply, I think we're both moral nihilists, V, but I'm the only one being honest about it. Now, I've received a message, a private message, which corrects us on an earlier statement. We've said, I think that some people on the stream have said that CRP was named male feminist in one of his posts, and that person reminds me that on Rouge V forums, male feminist is the default name for an anonymous poster or someone who didn't set his name yet.
That's rather amusing.
It is possible. I'm not going to say no, but I also know that he was posting Gawker articles constantly on his Twitter.
I have a guest coming in. He's been on pretty much every stream in the past. He wants to ask V and Sargon a couple questions, only for a few minutes. It's a Billy the anti-bullying. There he is. Billy, what's going on, Bill?
Oh, hey, I don't mean to interrupt your chat. I just had like 2 quick questions, if I can get them out.
Jim,
is that cool?
You ask the 2 questions, then you go back to producing your freaking video.
Yeah, I want to see that shit. Hurry up.
I'm like a heroin addict right now who's missing his fix.
No, it relates to the video. The first one was for Sargon.
Sure.
Sargon, here's what I'm confused about, at least on the timetable. Red Pill releases his video like on the 14th saying KRAUT's going to dox me.
Right.
And then we know KRAUT's video goes down. You mirror it. And then JF's video goes down. And you disavow KRAUT or whatever and pull his video down.
Yeah.
But in the leaked audio, KRAUT said, I talked to Sargon and told him about the information I have. And he said, we can't do that. That's what SJWs do. It makes us look bad. So...
I don't think he said it exactly like that, but okay, sorry, go on, yeah.
So if you knew that KRAUT was doing this stuff before you disavowed him with JF's video getting pulled down, why was there a delay?
I said to KRAUT that, as far as I was aware, KRAUT was on his own looking up stuff that was on whoever, and I just said to him flat out, this is not the right thing to do. I don't want you to, I wouldn't do it. It's not my business to tell you what to do, obviously, but just stop doing it. I don't know why there was a delay, as you ask. I honestly don't really know. I'd have to look, I guess.
Well, no, that's just because like I'm working on the video and I just want to make sure I get the timetable right because I don't want to misrepresent it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like you're saying like I'm unfamiliar with it, but you'd have to be familiar with it if KRAUT's informing you of what he's doing via Skype.
Yeah, but he's not. This is the thing. There's this assumption that KRAUT tells me a lot more than like I actually know. Occasionally he'll ping me a message on Skype and say, I found out that like Coach Red Pill was on Russia Today or something, and I'd be like, I don't care.
No, and I get you. And I guess my second question, and this is to
well, I'd like to offer a complimentary explanation because Sargon seems to need to look up the timetables, but I did check, so I want to help with your research, Mr. METOKUR. What you need to understand, Mr. METOKUR, is that Sargon has mirrored KRAUT's video. Sargon then learned about KRAUT probably doxing or probably being interested in personal information on CRP. But at that moment, Sargon did not have a responsibility to remove the KRAUT video. Sargon simply published the KRAUT video as a mirror because of his position on free speech. As far as my understanding goes, it is not contradictory to say, oh, I'm supporting free speech on the one end. On the other end, I will tell my friend, hey, don't dox people. It's not good.
Well,
no.
Let me just jump in here because yeah, I mean that's true. You know, that's exactly my position on it. I only mirrored it because of the fact that it was flagged down. I had no interest in getting embroiled in this, and had the situation regarding your video, JF, not been such a fucking quagmire of bullshit, I would have happily mirrored that too. But instead, I was like, right, okay, I'm out. You know, this is getting gross. So
I've already explained this on the million woes.
that's what I guess that's what's confusing me. If you know Kraut's doing shit that's underhanded, and this
well, no,
isn't.
I don't. No. Listen, I don't
So
know.
wait. Let me finish my Let me finish my
No,
question.
but you've started with something that I don't agree with. I don't know that he's doing things that are underhanded. I know that he personally is Googling people's histories.
No. But did he lie?
Sorry?
Because did he lie when he said Sargon told me this is wrong? This is what SJWs do. He said I shared Coach Red Pill's data with Sargon, and Sargon said we shouldn't do this. That's what SJWs do. So you knew he was doing underhanded shit, right?
No. Listen. I'll tell you exactly what I know, and then we'll understand, won't we? Kraut was looking into the histories of people, like Coach Red Pill's Russia Today, and his website and stuff like this. Stuff I just don't care about. I don't find that to be necessarily underhanded. He didn't say he was doing anything with this information, but I told him repeatedly, there's just no point. And if you're thinking about doing something, then don't, obviously. But there's just no point going into this because this isn't addressing any of the arguments. You're attacking the person and not the argument. What's the point in any of that? It seemed to be just a way to make him feel better or something, which honestly makes him look like he's losing.
Hey man, just a button here. I got a DM from the guy who's been pretty much leaking everything, Zeph. He wrote, I will be playing a recording on my live stream after your stream ends of Sargon trying to reason with Kraut. So
reason with Kraut about what?
I have no idea, but Zeph was saying Sargon didn't do anything wrong in this situation. So yeah.
I told you, I have been completely consistent with all of this. I mean, like, I don't even know what the audio that he's talking about there actually is, because I don't know when it was taken. I don't know what I'd said. But I'm completely confident that I will have just literally said exactly what I'm saying now in some other paraphrased form.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I have to say I've been, and I really want to offer the complimentary answer, especially for you and your video, Mr. METOKUR, because I've been expressing this on the Millennial Oz show, but since Sargon is here, it's important that I do it while he's here. To the whole public and to all these people who have been asking Sargon to mirror my video, I've always said Sargon does not have a moral duty to mirror my video. He did not have a duty to take the two sides or to be fair to the two sides. My video was a very complex video with extremely borderline humor, okay? 50 minutes of French humor. And there is no way I would put on the shoulders of Sargon to review that whole thing for proper ideological support and for him to mirror it. And there was no problem with free speech because we put it on BitChute 15 minutes after it was censored. And there is no way I would force Sargon or even imply that he should have done it. He didn't have to. It was not his words. They were my words, and they are still on the internet.
Yeah, that's incidental to my main point, though, which was I was just trying to get a timetable. My second follow-up to that would relate to the, it's not doxing, it's data thing. I guess my opening question on that would be, when CNN said that we found a Reddit user who posted a wrestling GIF related to Trump, and we don't like what he did, and we're going to post his name and his address and shame him, and people went off on that. They were in the right then, right? Because that's not doxing.
But it's as I said.
No, hang on. That is doxing because I mean a Reddit user is hardly a public figure.
Well, no, they found his information.
Hold on. It's as I said before.
No, I disagree with that, Jim. I disagree. I think a Reddit user is a private figure. I mean, these are people who are just using message boards, and they had to go and hunt around all this stuff. I mean, if this Reddit user was regularly appearing on TV or had news articles, was a published author, things like that, it'd be different. But if it's just some private schlub, yeah, it's totally doxing.
I think it's coherent with what I said before, that context matters. If you post the information with the purpose of other people going after that person, or racists get fired blogs and shit like that, then yeah, you're a piece of shit. But if, let's say, CNN would have done some investigation into that guy's past and it turns out that he stole like 20 grand from some charity or some shit like that, then yeah, that's relevant information. I would not say that, oh my god, what CNN did is horrible.
Okay. So where do you draw the line at simple data gathering, I guess, and what would you consider? My consideration of what doxing is life for a nation, like Social Security, credit cards, that's my personal definition of it.
I honestly...
Yeah, I actually agree with you. I think the term doxing is being used pretty loosely. But I think the important thing is malice of intent.
I think I had a lot of videos where I did say this in the past that I agree with Jim. It's like, take someone's password or bank account and post it online. That's why it's illegal, because it has like direct consequences with what you're doing. But people started using the definition more loosely, to the point where when I made my video on Spinosaurus skin, I did say that his girlfriend is from Qatar, and people said that I doxed her and I put her life in danger. And they started mass flagging my videos because, Qatar is this place with one street and one house and one woman. So clearly her address was pinpointed with accuracy.
And so what about like sites like Social Autopsy or People, where they take posts that you put up on the internet and that they can attach to your ID because they find it through open sources? Is that underhanded?
Honestly, I think it's on a case-to-case basis. Like, when I do something like that, I assume that people will not think that I'm a piece of shit, And if people assume that I'm a piece of shit for doing what I did, then it's on me. I also never do something illegal. So there's also that. That's my moral compass. I can't say what other people use for their moral compass, but I can only be responsible for my actions.
It's personally, so I'm going to head off soon. But Social Autopsy, I think the problem is it's not voluntary. It's in fact against your will, and you've got no power over it.
And also it is attaching people's names and profiles to mean things they said, plus their employer, their school, and all that stuff. So the intent is obviously to ruin this person for maybe a fucking Hitler joke or something, or maybe dropping.
Yeah, I think also Social Autopsy. Okay, now that I looked it up, because I didn't know what you were talking about. Like, you can't really prove that the accusations are true either. Like when someone like me, for instance, the thing that I talked about, Coach Red Pill, I provided the evidence. People can even look it up that what I'm saying is not just random crap coming out of my ass. But with Social Autopsy, like, anyone can post whatever.
No, I get that. But I mean, it just goes back to data gathering. Like, I mean, if you're...
I'm sorry, I'm trying to intervene in this stream.
Go ahead.
I was looking for a subtle way to introduce my sentence. I cough for 1 minute. On the question of intent, one thing that you can detect in that case is that the people involved have not just been gathering the information, they have been using it as part of blackmail and threat and extortion. We have actions of that kind by KRAUT, by Zeph, and by Jeff Holiday. They have all been writing to the people on whom they were gathering the information, suggesting that they had the information. When you do that to induce a form of emotional distress in the person, and it is extortion, it is criminal. That's a good that's a good threshold that personally, when it's reached, I call it a wrongful action.
You know what? I completely agree. And this is why I can't side with the KRAUT on this. However, if you look at the logs, you will see that Coach Red Pill did the exact same thing to Sargon. He did the exact, scroll down at the last logs, and you will say, oh, I have all of this, and I'm going to publish it, right? So if you don't agree with KRAUT, I honestly don't know how you can still agree with the Coach Red Pill.
Wait, he said that? At the bottom of the log?
Yeah, just scroll down. Go to the last page.
What is the sentence? What is the sentence?
Yeah. Where is it exactly? If you could just check that out, because I mean, Coach Red Pill.
So he goes, yes, and you knew about the doxing KRAUT was involved in. You think you're going to skate away from this? And Sargon says, no, I didn't. And Coach goes, you did. I know you did. Don't give me the babe in the woods routine. You knew about it, and I'm going to prove it. And Sargon says, and I don't care. Enjoy your drama. I'm not interested. I've always told KRAUT to do the work and not to stir up the drama. It's a waste of time.
That is not extortion. That is simply saying, I disagree with you and I will make my case on the public space. You did not say, Sargon, I will reveal something about your personal life if you don't do that.
He says he's going to release a video about it.
Yeah, but it's an opinion video. It doesn't use any of Sargon's details.
Okay, look, if you want to do these loopholes, that's up to you, mate. I just don't agree. I honestly think that he's just as big a piece of shit.
V. That's not a loophole.
Either way,
there's
guys,
a difference between personal information.
I'm gonna head off. But
all right, peace, man.
All right, Sargon.
Later, dude.
Bye.
Guys.
Sorry. Go ahead, Jim.
Fuck, that was my last question, and you all cockblocked me. I wanted to know what ball pit he was going to be at.
Oh.
I've been asking for 3 fucking days.